show this part here. The game just hangs for a little while. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't give you any explanation of what it's doing. It just hangs forever. And the first time that you go to switch through tasks, it doesn't show this window. It takes it a good 10 seconds for this window to show up where you can actually log in, and then the game will actually function. But it's screwed up and it just loads all over the place.
And if full screen the game, the your will break and hate you forever. You know, last time I filled up the water flask before I really did anything else.
I don't know what difference that would make.
Any.
I think the game just broke because we restarted. I think that was the entire problem there.
I think this game works once when you try to play it the first time, and then the rest of the time it just tries to make you repeat your actions exactly, just to fuck with you.
So it's like those pigeons
it's like the pigeons
in the cage.
the Skinner box.
Yeah.
Figure out what exactly I did to get a reward, except the reward is you get to go on with the game, and that's not really a reward.
It does make me want to bury my nose in the corner and, flail around aimlessly, like the pigeons did. So, there's that. Okay. Open the door. Open the door. Smash it with a stick. Because why not?
Because you can't smash the actual game with a stick, so you might as well smash something inside it with a stick.
I could smash my computer.
Don't do that. It's a terrible idea.
Also, who ties a gear together?
And who expects a gear to work after tying it back together?
Okay, so what else do we need to do here? We need to look at this, possibly. We need to try to use the phone, maybe. Check out our documents. We have no documents. Right.
My beautiful self, is that what that said?
I think so. It's also filled with information. And I haven't read this, and I'm not going to read it, but these are symbols that you find on the inside of the building, so it looks like the journal is already complete. We did nothing different that time. Nothing different at all. It just happened to work. There we go. This small page with writing on it
is apparently a handkerchief.
Yeah. Wonderful. There's an old saw blade and a whole bunch of garbage on everything. Haven't the slightest idea what she just said, and the text is horrifically small.
Something about weeping.
You run into an issue with this game that you cannot reliably run it full screen, because as soon as it runs full screen, the screen goes black, and you cannot click the continue playing button that I showed you earlier. There's no way to log into the game, and because you can't log into the game, you can't play. Why you would need to make an account and log in to play a game like this, unless this is some kind of sick social experiment, I cannot imagine. Open.
This game is made by Calypso. That's the same people that made Tropico, which is really weird because Tropico is good.
Did you have to make a Calypso account to play Tropico?
I did not. It gave me that login screen, but I could just skip it. I could continue without logging in.
And you're sure that it's the same company, that it's not like some crap where they spelled it differently and stole the name?
It's spelled the same way. Oh, look, turn around.
Oh,
Mannequin.
yeah, there's mannequins. They show up randomly, and if you get too close, they catch on fire or do other horrific things. And it is quite creepy the first time that it happens. And then you move over here, and you do something else, and it goes away. And now the flying spaghetti monster is angry at you, and you should be ashamed of everything in your life. These books, I haven't read them. I would like... No, this isn't the right one.
So much text.
There's a lot of text, and I've skimmed them, and it doesn't seem to be useful in any way. It doesn't seem to be anything that actually helps you with solving any of the puzzles. Puzzles is, of course, a term that we need to use loosely, because it's not really thinking your way through anything. It's just clicking in the right spot and bashing your head against the wall.
Yeah. Flailing around until something happens.
The game seems to have the house be haunted by Anna, who I suppose is perhaps your wife? I'm not sure who the person with the terrible accent was just now.
That was Anna's alternate personality.
There are some things. There's a vice here. Why? Who knows? Now, there are bits of wood everywhere because something has been carving wooden shoes.
For some reason. Basically, we have some ghostly cobblers here. I don't know why we have to go disturb them. They're just, minding their own business. Why did it let you out that time?
Yeah, I don't know. Last time we played through this, we weren't allowed to leave until an event occurred. You can't pick up the hammer. You'd think this would be a very useful thing to have when you're in the middle of a building that is full of creepy mannequins.
Oh, open the drawer.
Yeah, so there's a drawer. They force you to open the books, and the books are full of things that you don't want to read. I do want to read a very small excerpt of this.
Nope.
If it will stay open long enough to allow me to do it. So he clawed the hero, whose chest started to bleed, and the hero smeared his hands with his own blood and greased the sword with it. The sword slipped from its hinge, but did not let itself be caught. It said, "Only the bracelets of power can bend me."
The sword slipped from its hinge.
The sword slipped from its hinge and began to taunt him about the fact that he couldn't bend it after he greased it with his own blood.
It's like they're just being really, really bad at metaphors. They're trying to do metaphors, and it's not working.
Okay, so I just want to point out that there are no mannequins in this room. There are no mannequins here.
It let you out again! Why did it let you out? Made me live through a creepy mannequin scene.
It also made my comment completely nonsensical. What is that a shadow of? The broken chair. The candle.
Oh.
Okay, so there's nothing here again. Let's see if it'll do it this time. Because if we don't have the story events happen, we don't get to progress. Seems to be the way that this works. Okay, that's all the way back in. You didn't actually do anything with that last time, did you?
I messed with it a few times, but it doesn't do anything as far as I can tell.
Okay, I think we got everything out of this room. I don't know.
So
the first time we tried to go out the door.
Yeah,
After going into that room, it told us that there.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Told us that there was an event that had to happen, and I went back into the room, and then all of a sudden, a mannequin hand went over the screen as if it was going over my character's mouth, and then I blacked out. And when I woke up, there was a mannequin laying on the floor.
No, the mannequin was there first.
Oh, was it?
But what happened is we turned around, and there was a mannequin on the floor, and the game said, one of the mannequins is gone. And as I pointed out, there were no mannequins there. There was suddenly a mannequin there.
And apparently one of them was gone.
Yeah, and then the hand went over our face, and then we blacked out, and then the mannequins were gone. Which makes no sense at all. At all.
Last time I did go into that room first.
Whatever.
Just being my little pigeon
in Skinner box here. Exactly what I did last time.
You want to do a lot of things. This drawer wouldn't open. It doesn't tell you that the drawer is stuck. It doesn't tell you that it's locked. It just doesn't open, and there's absolutely no explanation at all for why. Okay, we need to cut this down because it's in our way. I'm not an expert. This will take some time. I understand not...
Was that really necessary?
I understand not showing us, the cutting motions, because that would require them knowing how to program something. But... Right. I'm not an expert.
At hitting things with an axe.
Yeah, I didn't notice those the first time. You have to plug up this hole. Because reasons. It doesn't really ever explain that you have to plug up this hole, but you have to plug up this hole, and of all the things that you could plug this hole up with, you use a box. A box which somehow has a magic picture on it of Pollux and Castor.
Which are mountains.
You can see the wood clearly behind this. This is not a picture box. What? Yes, my thoughts exactly. There are creepy dolls. If you stand right here, they look like horrifying Mr. Potato Heads, which I'm quite fond of. It sort of destroys the creepy atmosphere when you're right there and you go, oh, Mr. Potato Head. I don't know, maybe sad crying clowns? I'm not sure.
Intern.
This disgusting puddle, you have to figure out that you're supposed to look into it. First, this appears to be like 25 feet deep. That's not something that I would really call a puddle. It's not something that rainwater would cause, especially not through floorboards.
That was water when I first walked in here. I thought it was just like
a nasty rug.
Yeah.
And when I couldn't walk over it, I looked more carefully and I was like, oh, that's water. Okay. For some reason.
But the puzzle solving is entirely made up of things like this. You throw the dust on the lantern. Why? Why would you think to do that? Why would you put a lantern on a hook and then lower it down a hole? Why would you think to do that? Oh, look, this water is crystal clear now. And at this point, nothing else happens in the game until you do the dumbest thing imaginable, which is you take this knife and you heat it up, which makes a snake appear on it, and then you stab yourself. A little cut should be enough. Yeah.
Why would you do that?
And now, there are the stories about, somebody using his blood to grease a sword and things like that, but skimming through those books, I didn't see anything that implied you should do any of this crap. So there's probably something buried in that 38-page journal that you're not going to want to read.
Dialogue you can't hear.
Which is wonderful.
Feels strange.
I certainly do. Every time anything happens, you black out. I'm not sure.
Still don't know what those arrows are for.
Yeah, I get the stars, sort of, that's supposed to be like, oh, look, that's kind of the 5-pointed demonic thing. It's pointing at his ear. That one's star. Put it in his ear.
It's like a 3/4 of a star.
Instructions from a child. There's nothing in these. You walk out here, and I thought maybe there was a mannequin. You walk out here, and there is something now. And this is another one of the puzzles that they've got.
Earthquakes.
Yeah, there's constantly earthquakes going on. Apparently, there's physics in the cans, which you're not allowed to pick up. I guess that's what you would cause that. It's obviously not a physics engine in the game.